The Fresno Focus Radio Hour. This is the No Focus Radio Hour. Comedy and insight from the greatest minds in Fresno. A Lightomine Media production. That's right. This is the No Focus Radio Hour, the #1 independent podcast in the Central Valley. Thank you for listening, and thank you for telling a friend. The No Focus Radio Hour is available anywhere podcasts can be found, including YouTube and your home smart speakers. Please remember to subscribe and leave a review. That does help others discover our show. And while you're reviewing, keep in mind that 5 stars is the correct number of stars. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your friends. But if you hate it, share it with your enemies. Check out our site, nofocusradio.com. There you can get exclusive content. You can vote on Don's polls. Find us on social media. Our handle is at nofocusradio. Check out the rest of our stuff at lightominemedia.com.
I can't be with you, you know it's true. And you know just what I got to do.
What do you got to do?
Gonna hit the ground running. Running to listen to my favorite podcast.
In your underwear.
Hit the ground running. Running. Listening to my favorite podcast in Fresno.
Oh, we sound so good.
Wow.
Like we never left. We've been doing this all the time, practicing in our voice lessons.
So good. That's right, everybody. This is the No Focus Radio Hour, the #1 independent podcast in the Central Valley. It's made for those who live in the Central Valley, for those who miss the Central Valley, those who long to live in the Central Valley, and for those who...
Poor kids who Santa apparently hates because he doesn't bring him anything good in the Central Valley.
Oh, wow. Those poor kids.
Yeah, Santa doesn't like the poor kids.
As always, we have our beautiful cast of characters.
-1.
-1, but we have a lot of good ones here, though.
Yeah.
We have with
Thank
us Eric the Doorman.
Hey, Fresno. Hey, you said we're the #1 independent podcast in the Valley?
That's right.
So I think for 2023, we got to take over the world.
Oh, #1 independent
In
podcast
the world.
in the world.
In the world.
I like it.
And then we're going to go universal or what? I don't know. Then we're going to go galaxal.
I like
What
it.
is it?
That's a word.
Galactic.
Galactic.
We also have with us one of your favorites, Marty Stupidasso.
Hey, you know, it's the holidays, and over the holidays, you always end up eating something weird like that nasty thing your Aunt Susie brought to the potluck that you had with your family.
Susie.
And you get, diarrhea, or as a lot of people like to call it, the Hershey Squirts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Reference
yeah.
to Hershey chocolate. So I
Well,
wanted
that's
to
the name
be
of our
a
show.
trendsetter and start something new. I was telling people I had the DeBoss Squirts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for
Oh,
DeBoss
wait, no.
chocolate.
Time out.
And
Wait.
nobody got it, and everyone thought I was an idiot. So it's not going to catch on. I'm
That's
sorry.
terrible
I was trying to promote
branding.
Yeah.
I was trying.
I don't know.
Well, you made it when people come out and say I have the Hershey Squirts. Everyone knows what you're talking about. Where I thought if I have the DeBoss Squirts, they think
I know.
I'm
I got to disagree. I like that name on Hershey. That would be a
You
better
know what?
branding
I'm
for Hershey.
thinking, though, that might be the new name of a product. I'm going to buy that domain right now.
DeBoss Squirts. That'd be good. I'd buy it.
Oh, man.
So I tried to continue promoting the chocolate over the holiday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
And behind the board over there, we have the one, the only, the man they call Johnny Knobs.
Hey-o, everybody. Here I am, Johnny Knobs.
I was at Christmas with the family.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, that guy works behind the board, Johnny Knobs. How did he get his name?
That's what they said?
That's what they said. And I said, I'll ask him. They said, for all I want for Christmas is to know how he got his name.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on
I said,
Santa's lap.
I will
and
deliver. Yeah.
Santa lap was rubbing my back very gently and asked me, how did Johnny Knobs get his name?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to tell him.
It's actually crazy. So this story ties in really well with the fact that it's Christmas.
Okay.
So this was, trying to remember, it was 2004,
All
I
right.
believe.
2004, yeah.
2004.
Long time ago.
And I was in high school at this time, and I was working at Sierra at the mall, Sierra Vista Mall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sierra Vista Mall, and I was working at one of those booths, in the center, the kiosks.
The kiosk, yeah.
And I was selling Christmas like ornaments and things like that.
Okay.
And there was this ornament that looked like Santa Claus. But I thought, this is funny. People were like, "Oh, hey, can I have that ornament?" But I thought at the time that it was a doorknob attachment. Like one of those like things that you decorate your home with, you hang from your doorknob.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I kept on telling people, no, I don't have any Santa ornaments. I only have these Santa knobs, like these Santa knobs things. And then the mall Santa got so angry he started saying, "They're not Santa knobs. Those are not Santa knobs. Those are ornaments." And everybody heard him be like, "Santa knobs," but he was getting so angry. He was like, "Those are not Santa, Johnny." And it sounded like Johnny Knobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was like slurring his
So he
speech.
thought he was yelling at Johnny
Santas
Knobs?
are drunk.
Yeah, he thought he was yelling
At a guy named Johnny Knobs? Oh,
and
my gosh.
Everybody started coming up to me.
Wow.
Being like, "Hey, that's the Johnny Knob kiosk."
Yeah.
And that's how
And
I
that's how it
became
was.
known as Johnny Knobs. The funny thing, he was yelling so loud, and I remember being like, "Santa, you got to quiet down. You have to be quiet because I control the volume." True story.
All right. Well,
I
Merry
thought that
Christmas,
was it,
everyone.
but I wasn't exactly sure of the
Yeah.
details.
Well, my
Yeah.
family would be happy. That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted,
that's
some family members.
That story
So
is pretty. It's a famous story
gave
around
them
Sierra
their
Vista Mall.
present.
Everybody remembers the Christmas of Johnny Knobs.
the
2004.
Johnny Knobs Christmas.
It's a big year. The Johnny
Yeah.
Knobs Christmas.
That sounds like a great Hallmark movie, Johnny Knobs
the
Christmas.
Johnny Knobs. It's a love story.
Anyway, we're missing our one and only Don Schlicks. Is he okay? Have you?
You know what's funny? I don't know.
Did he make it past Christmas?
I know
or?
he made it past Christmas.
Okay.
Oh, he says actually just messaged me. He says he was actually at a good friend of ours, Dr. Galander's.
Great
I'm going to
doctor.
say tell him to come on in and join us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. So he's going to join us.
Join us right on the air.
Yep. So that's going to
Awesome.
be good.
Good.
Yeah.
So hey, did you guys Christmas here? What did you guys do? See?
Oh, some Christmas.
Did you have any? Did you have a good Christmas? Did you get what you wanted?
It's a good one. So let's start with a Christmas. To do a Christmas movie recap.
Good.
I like
Good.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
Did you guys see any Christmas movies, Christmas shows? I think that's part of the big part of the cheer is watching Christmas things.
That's right. I mean, there's all the classics, right? Everybody watches the classics.
My
Yeah.
wife does. It drives me crazy.
What are
has-
some of the classics?
Has anybody? Well, classic. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay,
Obviously.
I saw a play called "It's a Wonderful Life."
I saw a radio play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same play. It was an awesome radio play.
Appreciate it.
There's It's a Wonderful Life. There's White Christmas.
Frosty the Snowman.
You're
Frosty
talking the
Red-Nosed
old
Reindeer.
classics.
The classics,
Old
yeah.
classics.
Stop motion stuff.
I mean, there's Elf. If you want to talk, there's
The
family.
more modern classics.
Yeah,
Lampoon
and,
Vacation,
the Santa
Christmas
Claus,
Vacation,
Christmas
the Santa
Vacation.
Clauses, yeah.
That one with the what's that one? With the kid in his Darren
Home
Christmas
Alone.
Story. Christmas Story.
Christmas story.
You
yeah.
shoot your eye. And there was Christmas Story.
One of my
Christmas.
favorite. One of my
which is-
absolute. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was to say there's Christmas Story Christmas, which is part 2 to that now.
Right.
That
Right.
just came out this year.
I didn't watch that. That seems blasphemous. But anyways, one of my favorite shows to watch at Christmas is Prep and Landing.
Oh, I don't know what this
Oh
is.
yeah, the elf.
Oh my God!
The
Yeah,
elf-
it's the elves that go and prep a house for Santa to come, and it's like the premise is one of the elves have been doing it for over 200 years, and he's sick of it and wants a promotion. Doesn't get a promotion, so he just says, "I'm not going to do this."
says
right.
screw it.
Prep and Land is a Disney movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's an animated movie.
And then they also have the sequel after it, where the guy has to team up with his brother, and they're very different. But I like
You
it
like
because
that?
it's a totally different take on the whole Disney thing.
I've never
and on
seen
the whole
this.
It was
Christmas
interesting.
thing.
Yeah,
You should see it. It's really cute and nice.
I watched it. I
enjoyed
watched it last year. I think once was enough. But yeah,
What? I watch it every year.
Is that your new Christmas classic?
That is my Christmas classic. It's the only one
Yeah.
I really like.
I
Yeah.
don't know this one. Yeah, I'm going to add this. I'm going to add this in.
Yeah,
'cause I don't
Prep and
know it.
Landing, and also the
We've had
sequel.
this discussion. I always had this discussion with people. You know, movies like Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, are these Christmas movies? You know, movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
I say no. A lot of people say yes.
My wife was watching Die Hard last night.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause
Do you
it's
think
a
that's
Christmas movie?
It's not. It's a movie that takes place during Christmas.
So
it's not a Christmas movie.
Come on.
If what's his face would have said, John McClane would have said, "Merry Christmas, mother bleeper," then yes, I would say it'd be a Christmas
Or
movie.
if he said, "Yippee-ki-yay, Santa Claus."
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so those are the classics.
Those are
but
classics.
which are the ones?
There's some new ones that's been out.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
this
What are the
year.
ones that you see this year? Something like that you saw.
The new ones. There's one. It really was. I don't know if it was a Christmas movie called Slumberland. It has Jason Momoa plays in it.
Oh, he's terrible.
Actually, it was a really good movie. His performance. Yeah, I mean,
It's basically eye candy.
I'm not a big Momoa fan, but the movie did work. It's about a girl who loses her
Virginity.
loses her mother, but then eventually, and her father recently, and has to
Losing
live
your
with-
virginity is a lot more fun.
and has to live with her dad's brother.
This is
And
a
so she
Christmas
goes in
movie?
this dream world, and it's a very cool movie.
Sucks so far.
No,
Sorry,
I like it. It's better than the landing elves, whatever that was.
You know what the problem with this movie is? I'm looking
Yeah.
this up at IMDb. The problem is they accidentally cast Jason Momoa. That's the problem here.
Yeah, well, you know, they could have. Yeah, he was okay in it. It was not my favorite part. Another movie called Spirited.
Oh, you
which
guys
was
see that?
on Apple? Did you guys watch that one?
I didn't see it. No.
That one was Spirited had. We got someone coming
very
in.
exciting,
There he
very exciting,
is.
guys. We have a Christmas surprise for you. Here we got he's coming in. He's coming in right now. Hey. We got a ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. We got the Don Schlicks is here. He made it a whole beautiful cast of characters.
Yes, we're full.
It's good to be here. Sorry, I'm a little late. I was getting my back adjusted at my chiropractor.
Oh, how did it feel? Was it good?
So good. It's
like
been
your-
out for a long, long time.
What is your hat from? Is that a football team?
Who can guess? Who can guess?
Oh, wait,
It's
Africa.
Astros.
It's Oakland.
Oakland A's.
It's
A's.
Oakland A's.
Why is it an elephant?
Who knows? I guess the elephants were big
The
back then.
Athletics. They're the Athletics, and that's always been their mascot.
And
is an
elephants
elephant.
are very athletic.
Wait,
Yeah.
the A's mascot is the elephants?
Yes.
Is that real?
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
Sure. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but
They come back. They were the Philadelphia. Am I right? Philadelphia Athletics.
I'm not sure
Philadelphia
about that one. Yeah,
elephants.
But why is it an elephant?
Why not?
I don't know why the elephant. Yeah, that's. But yeah, that's when I saw that.
Stomper
I
is
was
the
like,
mascot of the Oakland A's. He's an elephant.
Yeah,
Stomper.
you did not know this?
I've never heard of this. I'm a big fan, though. It's a cool hat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways.
so-
So we were talking, Don, to catch you up. We were just talking about our Christmas movie recaps, any movies we've seen.
yeah.
We talked about Wonderful Life, Prep and Landing. We found out that Eric has a huge crush on Jason Momoa. And now we're talking about
Spirited.
Spirited.
Did you see that one?
What is that?
Spirited. That had Will Ferrell and
No, is it good?
Yeah, it was actually kind of good. It was basically a different take, another Christmas Carol. Different take on the
Right.
Christmas Carol, with Will Ferrell and what's that guy's name? I can't think of his
Ryan
name.
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, and it was a musical. That's
Oh,
what threw
okay.
me. It wasn't a full musical, but yeah, they had
Did you go
musical
to the
numbers in
theater
it.
to see it?
No, it was on TV.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
Did
Apple.
Was it released in the theater?
Apple Plus.
I think
no,
it was.
No, it came on Apple Plus. It was like an exclusive on Apple. That was very good, though. Actually, that was a surprise. I did like it. And yeah, Will Ferrell did sing. And he didn't just say, I'm singing, I'm singing. So yeah, that another. Let's see, what else was there? There's some others on the list too, right?
Yeah, so let's see here. Sorry, I'm going to come back over here.
Disenchanted came out. That wasn't kind of a Christmas, but
Oh,
that
how
was.
was that?
It was
Disenchanted?
okay. It wasn't, it's kind of nice to see it, the sequel from Enchanted.
I like
right?
the
Amy
first
Adams.
one. Yeah, I like the first one.
And that one was okay. Like I said, not really necessarily Christmas, but that worked. And
so
then,
you saw a lot then this year.
yeah, what was the other one? There was one more on the list too, right?
You have on that list. You have a Guardians Christmas.
Oh, Guardians Christmas. Yeah,
Saw that.
You
How
did
was
see
that?
What'd you think?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the
It was
Galaxy
okay.
Christmas.
I didn't see
It
that
was
one.
It was kinda
Kevin
fun.
Bacon. Did you like Kevin
Is it
Bacon?
a full
in
movie or
Not
just like an hour
particularly.
long?
But
No, it's like
It's
about
just like-
45 minutes.
yeah.
Oh, nice short. Little.
It's just like a short little Christmas. Yeah,
That's pretty funny though, because they had a callback to Kevin Bacon
in the movies.
in
Guardians.
the movies. Yeah. Is Kevin Bacon like Kevin Bacon? He might be one of the Avengers. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
you're
Oh
right.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, that's what it was. That's the whole idea of the movie. They bring him because what's his face, Star Lord. Let's bring the gift of Kevin Bacon to Star Lord, and they think that Kevin Bacon's this big hero. And, they kind of find out different.
Did anybody see the new Santa Claus movie?
Santa Clauses.
Oh, I don't know.
That's the Santa Clauses.
It's
yeah,
a
I saw
TV
that.
show.
It turned it
it's a
into a
show.
TV show. Yeah, so it's like a 6-episode show.
Oh, I wish I watched it.
It actually, in the beginning, it was kind of like, I don't know, but it got better towards the end. I liked it. I would say yes.
So the ones I didn't see any of these newer movies, but I did watch probably one of my all-time favorite, which is
Prep and Landing.
National Lampoon's Christmas
Yeah,
Vacation.
That's a good one.
yeah.
I watched
Cousin
that.
Eddie,
That's
yeah.
a, it's
The
a
pooper's full.
It's just a classic, and I watched that with my 8-month-old daughter. She was a big fan.
she
Was she
liked it.
laughing?
She was
she having a good
Good,
time?
Big fan. Yeah.
That's the best of the vacation movies by
Oh,
far.
for sure.
really
There's not even a close
solid.
second. It's
Yeah.
just so well written and so well.
I've
acted.
never watched any of the vacation movies like recently. I'm except that one. Like every year, I'll watch Christmas Vacation. That's just
The other ones have obviously they're fun. They're
the
funny.
first
but
one's pretty good.
yeah.
Wally
it-
World, I think that one's like solid.
Oh yeah.
it's funny, yeah, of course. But it's just the Christmas one's so good.
You know what it is because the stuff in the Christmas one. I mean, the first one relates, yes, to people going on vacation, but I think the stuff in the Christmas one really relates because it's like it covers everything. There's like everything that's almost ever happened.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know, during Christmas, except for maybe the police coming in and busting into your house.
Now, the worst one, can we all agree that it's European Vacation?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, although that does have
Yeah.
funny parts in it too. Some things that make you laugh.
The
I
absolute
haven't
worst part
seen
was
it in
this
a long
talk show that Chevy Chase had afterwards. You know,
Oh yeah, on
remember the talk
Fox.
show? That was horrible.
Yeah, it's funny how the kids always change though.
Yeah. I
That's
did
what I
like actually. I was actually a big fan. The Vegas Vacation. The one
That was
came
good.
out.
Yeah, when he comes
That's
out with
actually
all
a
the
really
cars.
funny one.
I don't. Yeah, I would have to go back and. I don't even remember that.
That was pretty good.
That's a really good
I
one.
liked it.
The little lights aren't twinkling, Clark.
So what else? Any other Christmas movies or shows or anything that anybody saw or favorites of the year?
I think that's about it, really.
Okay.
I mean, I usually just we'll go through and we'll watch them. You know, that's the cool part about streaming, is that we were talking about that too. Previous is that before you'd have to watch on network TV and you'd have to like get the TV guide, a book that showed you when these movies were going to come on, right?
Right.
And then with cable, they started playing them more. But now with streaming, you can just watch anything at any time. It's just
Yeah, the problem
unbelievable.
is all the streaming services that I'm subscribed to is like costing me a ton of money. I'm going
Way more expensive
Oh.
than cable ever was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
because
like,
if you include, you also forget when you paid cable, that included your internet bill.
Yeah.
So you were paying like maybe $80 for cable and TV. Now
Like
you're
at
paying
the most 120 or
yeah.
something.
Now you're
paying
paying $120 for your internet,
yeah.
plus
$70, $80 for the
hours
streaming.
less
Streaming
for
services.
streaming. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
paying twice as much as you ever would have.
Oh, and I heard, speaking of that, I heard Netflix is not password sharing anymore.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're locking it down by IP, like Hulu. Hulu's done by. You
Well,
can
it's
only
funny,
have So many.
it's
Well,
like
I read too, they have to, they're not making money like they used to, right? They're losing subscribers. They're not, I mean, they kind of maxed out on subscribers.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so what they said is there has to be, they figured out that Netflix, to make money or to be profitable, has to make their average monthly payment has to be $15. Right, which isn't a huge raise for us right now, but that's not talking about the United States. That's talking about worldwide.
Right.
And so around the world in like South America, people pay like $4 for Netflix because they make like
Wow.
$300 a month,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So and they're not going to raise their prices to 15. What they're going to do is raise our prices to equal out 15
Sure.
for the.
But
for the
they've
globe.
also all of them, including Netflix, I think HBO, Discovery, and Disney, are all adding ad-supported versions. So they'll be free as long as you watch all the ads.
I don't think they're free.
They're
I
not
think
free. You have
it's-
to pay a
But
just
very
a lower-
low.
a low fee. It's
Yeah, so that's
it's
going to
about
be, I
half.
think that's what they'll do, because that way people who aren't sharing anymore, they'll actually probably end up making more money. 'Cause
Well, the
instead
funny
of
thing
paying
was that-
15, I'll pay $3 a month for ads or whatever.
The funny thing was too, though, is because of all that, when Netflix did their ad supported thing, they ended up losing some shows. They couldn't show some of them because
Right.
they can't show ads with them. So
Right.
it's like, well, so they wiped out. So people that got that thinking, well, I'll just watch the ads. They lost a lot of shows too that they couldn't have access to.
Yeah. And Disney lost. They lost $1 billion on Disney Plus last quarter.
Oh yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
that's
$1
a
billion.
big money loss.
Yeah.
So
You know-
and they're starting to fold and like combine already. And like,
yeah.
how is Paramount like? those standalone ones like Paramount and the NBC one, like
yes.
come on, like
they're all. I was just talking to my friend Nelson. Has the way streaming used to be for a couple of years, the big streaming wars, where everybody was just buying everything.
Yeah.
And he's a writer.
Content, they needed
he's a
content.
writer, so they were just buying everything. He said that's dead. Like, it's going to be a huge change in the industry because nobody's buying things like they used to anymore.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's completely
Well,
different.
look at HBO, right? With who did they Discovery? Who did they combine with? And they ended up like getting rid of a lot of shows.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we
Discovery,
talked about in the
HBO,
past,
Warner, CNN.
Batgirl got canceled. A lot of movies are getting canceled. They wiping everything out and kind of reboot itself.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It makes more money if you were to sell content to a company that just does that, right? That's what the networks were for. But now that everything is kind of flipped around, like you're saying, these companies that bought Disney and stuff, these people are in trouble.
Also,
They're
what
losing a lot of money.
What a lot of people are doing now is they will cancel their subscription. And then when like there's a new season of something,
That's what
or
we do.
something they want to watch, then they sign up again.
We
That's
had
what
a-
I'm thinking about
Yeah.
doing because I'm getting killed with all these
yeah.
fees.
No, I do that. We cancel HBO, and then when like House of Dragons came on, we bought it for a month or two, and then we
That's,
canceled it. We do that with all of them. Like
The
hey, we want
only
to watch a
one
new season.
that
That's what I gotta
everybody
do.
still has and forgets actually how good it is. I always forget how good it is. Is Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Prime,
Yeah.
Prime
I like
actually has
Amazon
a
Prime.
ton of. I
We
forget.
have
Really?
good shows. The new Jack Ryan came out.
Yeah.
Season 3.
Are
of
you-
Jack
Are you
Ryan.
talking
Yeah.
original content? Because I know
Everything.
Amazon
but you
Prime.
still have to rent. That's the thing that ticks me off about Amazon Prime. You still have to rent the movies, though. Like
No, they have free movies.
They have
No,
a
they
ton
do
of
have
movies.
free ones,
Yeah.
but I'm saying there's certain content you still have to
Well,
rent.
that's true of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
don't
mean,
have all
they have
movies.
a ton of free content. Like, it blows my mind. I'll start scrolling through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they have a lot of.
and
good
a lot of
stuff.
their original movies and shows are good.
Yeah.
That I would keep Prime, and I actually like Hulu, because we pay for the one that gives. It's basically like having cable.
So sports and stuff.
Sports, live TV. You can record. You can go back and watch on demand, like most shows. So.
I wouldn't
like
get
Hulu.
I wouldn't get too comfortable though because they're part of Disney now, and I know Disney's looking to really start cutting stuff and combining. So Hulu might be gone at some point.
No, Hulu won't because they're still partially owned by a bunch of people. Hulu's
Are they?
Yeah, they actually don't do bad because of all the ads. They do okay. Because Hulu started doing programmatic ads for companies, so a lot of companies are buying ads in Hulu now. Which would make it
Now, what I did is when I signed up for service recently, I'm paying for Verizon cell service, but they included Plus, which included ESPN. Who watches ESPN too? But ESPN and Hulu in it too. So Disney Plus and those two. So
And Disney's thinking about shedding ESPN and even ABC, is what I was reading.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just being Disney.
oh, they're trying to cut. Yeah, so I mean they should have just basically never came out with Disney Plus and just did their content to Netflix or whoever, and they probably would have been fine. But like you said, they overbought. Everybody overbought, and now they're hurting.
Well, yeah, it's going to be, and plus, the whole, because it was kind of smart during the COVID idea. That time movies weren't around, movie theaters were closed. But the problem is, like, it still just costs too much. They put all that money into.
Well, and with the movie theaters, they got a whole new issue too, right? Because what do you do with new releases? That's why people don't even go. I think a lot of people don't go to the movies anymore because they know, well, in 30 days it's going to be on streaming, and I pay for it anyway, so why go to the movies? The
only movies that make money are the ones that you want to see, like Top Gun. I want to see that in the theater.
Right.
Can we talk about the microphone situation? Sure. I feel like everyone else has a much better cord than I do.
Longer
Your cord's
cord.
very
Longer
short.
cord.
Oh, you do have a thinner cord.
Thicker.
Yeah.
I'm having
have
to bend
cord
over
envy.
to
You have
genetic.
cord
I do.
envy.
Oh, I can tell you
short
why.
cord
though.
syndrome and
It's genetics.
So
I'll
sad.
tell you why. Do you remember a couple episodes ago, maybe about a year ago?
You went from a couple episodes to a year.
I forget how
It's
been a
Friggin'
while,
gone a while.
guys. I forget though. We've been on the reboot of our podcast for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't realize. But remember, Marty's mic stopped working, even though I got these beautiful brand new gold cords. And the only one that actually works best out of all of them is
the
my
old?
old my old one from
The old
however.
cheap one, Amazon Basics
Exactly.
cord.
Here, maybe we need some.
Do you
You have no more space.
so you have the best cord.
Wow.
Even though you don't think so.
All right.
Got a little green tape on it, Take comfort in what you have instead of one tape.
You get what you get and don't throw a fit.
We're gonna take a quick break.
That's what my daughter says.
What is it?
You got to lay
get
some
what
cable.
you get, and don't throw a fit.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Lay some cable. What you doing with your cable?
Okay, let's see here. So we talked about some. Okay, any other Christmas things that we did?
Well, I did want to go back
Yeah.
and ask Marty. We never asked him about his Thanksgiving hunting trip when he was hunting for orcas and bears.
Oh yeah.
You told us you were going to make an orc bear turducken, which is catch an orca, and then inside you catch a bear. You put the bear inside the orca, and inside the bear you put the turkey. Inside the turkey you put the
Looks like
duck,
he doesn't know what you're talking
and
about.
then inside the duck you put the chicken, and you melt that all together. How was it? Was it good?
It was terrible. It was a lot of
Oh.
blood, a lot of guts.
Yeah. It was like fishy and birds.
Yeah, and gamey.
Yeah.
And it was just pretty nasty. We
too
ate
bad.
all of it, though. That's where we got the DeBoss squirts from.
That's right.
Oh, did you talk about your
Wow.
clogged toilet issue?
No, I didn't.
All right.
It was a Christmas miracle.
This miracle.
So he had a
God.
Christmas toilet mishap.
Oh, also, no, it's
Okay,
just
let's hear about that. Was this after the turducken or whatever that thing
after
was?
the throw a duck in, everyone had the DeBoss squirts instead of the Hershey squirts, and the
Got it,
chocolate.
got
company.
it.
Okay, good. You weren't here for that. So the toilets, like the shower filled full of water because my girls in my house shed like chimpanzees.
Oh, yes.
So then the toilet next to the shower quit working. And we thought, okay, well, it's, the day before Christmas Eve, we'll just ride out Christmas with the 2 toilets we have. We'll be good. We're having people over, and that's fine, though.
Just don't use that bathroom. Yeah.
Then we had the turducken, and that just blew the toilet system out. And so the whole entire sewage line became clogged. One of the toilets was leaking around the bottom, just like pouring nasty water into one of the bathrooms. So we're throwing down towels.
I saw that. It's funny because you had a picture of like a towel around and like, oh, this is my Christmas. And then the next picture was like there's a line of towels.
Yeah,
from
like
that
every
one
towel you had to
down
find
the hallway.
Oh,
And
man.
Yeah,
That's
we
awful.
get it.
was
Wash
that
it out.
toilet? Was that toilet towards the street, towards the sewer line, the main sewer, or was that one back in the back of the house?
It was towards the back of the house.
Oh, okay. So you
That's
thought you'd be
why.
okay with the other ones, but somehow the others backed up too. Then, huh?
Yeah, so we
Oh, my
called,
gosh.
we called the plumber. They go, okay, we'll come out.
We'll come out. It's going to be $1,000 because it's Christmas.
Basically, and we want to
yeah.
redo your entire sewage system.
Yeah.
But then my wife knew someone who knew a plumber who lived down the street who was home and brought his plumbing truck home.
Wow.
And so he was over.
Do we need to give him a shout out?
It's Mr. Reuter.
No, Mr. Reuter. All
Mr.
right.
Reuter. Daniel from Mr. Reuter was fantastic. I don't know if I should give him a shout out. I think he pocketed the money and didn't tell him. Anyways, his dad owns the company,
mark
so who
that.
cares?
It's all right.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He didn't do that. He's an honest guy. But so he came over our house, brought his Mr. Reuter truck, found our main line, popped it open, sent his snake down there. It was a big old python. It was awesome. But sent his snake down there, and all of a
People
sudden,
say that
he's
about-
going, okay, got it, and all our toilets worked and everything, so it was great. It cost us about $300, but I would have spent twice that. For a Christmas
yeah.
Day thing.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
it was a Christmas
Yeah, to
miracle.
come out on Christmas for $300,
Yeah.
that is
That is-
really
That is-
solid.
Yeah.
I had a
Insane.
similar issue. It
had
was
the turducken?
the yes. No, but it was
Squirts?
the week before Christmas, the Saturday. So the Saturday before the Christmas Eve, and we woke up and we had no hot water.
Oh,
man,
no.
that's the
And
worst.
I was like, "What? No hot water?" And we have one of those tankless water heaters.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah. And
Wow.
so I go out. Kristen's like, Justin, we don't have water, hot water. I'm like, oh man. So I go out. I open up the hot water deal, tankless, and there's instructions on how to reboot it. I couldn't
Okay.
say that.
So-
And
Is there a pilot light in there?
there's no
Light?
pilot light.
With the
Okay.
instructions in English.
How do you
And,
even, after you're done, how do you open all of this? You have to talk to me about that later.
Well, you have a tank. Do you not? Do you have?
I have a
tankless?
tankless.
Oh, okay.
I've no
I
word
can
of-
show you. Anyway, we had to find the key because it locks, so nobody like messes with you. And
Oh,
we
great.
dug through all our keys and found it. Thankfully, I open it. I'm like, okay, it's not lighting. So it has electric igniters instead of a pilot light.
Okay.
Every time you turn on hot water, it sparks.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it-
okay. But it's
so-
still gas. It's just,
still
but it's
gas.
electric, yeah.
And I walk out and it smelled like propane, like
Oh,
bad.
that's
So I'm
bad.
like, oh my God. I'm like, do we have a propane leak? What's going on? So I was like, it's probably just because.
Did you light a match so you can get a better look?
Yeah. Where's
so
it coming
I'm,
from?
I'm wrestling in my head, like I turn off the gas to it,
Okay,
and then the
yeah,
gas smell
smart.
went away. And I'm like, is it just because it won't light, or do we have a problem with the gas? And I was like, I'm I was almost gonna relight it myself, and I was like, okay, I don't want to be the guy who blows up my neighborhood.
Yeah,
Because gas is something I won't mess with.
So we call PG&E, and they were great. The guy came in like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Really friendly guy. He checked everything. He's like, no, you don't have a gas leak. Everything is fine. It's your tankless water heater. What he knew about them somewhat. He's like, they tried it. It's not igniting. So it uses gas to light. And since it's not lighting, it's that's why the gas is it's like a barbecue, and your barbecue won't light.
Yeah, you just smell it. It has to go somewhere. Yeah.
So, and I
like
tried
when you're
to
sitting on the couch. The gas has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I had previously tried to reignite it, and it wouldn't reignite. He tried to reignite it; it wouldn't reignite. So we start calling plumbers on a Saturday, and they're all like, one of them, a couple of the big ones were like, sorry, we can't come out till Monday, so I'm gonna go through this weekend without hot water.
That's horrible.
A couple of them, and it's been cold too. And a couple of them were like, "Oh, we can come out, but it's weekend pricing, so it'll be $150 just for us to come out." And then it'll,
$300 an hour.
Yeah, yes, seriously. Yeah. And I was like, "So should we pay all this money?
Yeah.
Should we pay all this money, or should we just maybe shower at Max's or something for a couple days?"
Yeah.
So we decide to wait. We go to
so you embrace the suck.
Yeah, we embrace this sucks, but whatever. So we go to a volleyball tournament that my daughter was in, and we just randomly start talking to a couple people we know. Like, our water heater's out, and someone's like, "Oh, I know a guy.
I love it.
He's out in Harlan Ranch, and he's not a plumber, but he services
like a handyman or something."
Yeah, handyman, and he services most of the tankless water heaters out in Harlan Ranch.
Oh my gosh!
And so they dug through and found his number. We called him. He's like, "Yeah, I can come out tomorrow morning." So on Sunday, so we had a day where we didn't have hot water. So he came out 7:30 Sunday morning, checked everything. He's like, "Yeah, it's your igniters. They get gunked up with basically like natural gas. If it doesn't burn all the way, they get kind of gunked up." So he opened it up, cleaned them, put it back together. He's going to come back and do that stuff's got to be like flushed, the system and stuff every year basically. And we hadn't done it for a couple of years. So, took like 15 minutes. I was like, "How much do I owe?" He's like, "No, just pay me when I come back and do your cleaning service." Oh. And it turns out we knew the guy. I was like, he looks familiar. His name's Justin Linahome, I think. I might be pronouncing his last name wrong. But he's a really good guy. And came out fast and did it for free that day. So
that's awesome. But
saved our butts.
Come out and so it works now.
Yeah, it works great. Yeah, he cleaned the
and he's
igniters.
Gonna come out and do a full clean. See, I didn't know with those tankless ones that you had to service them.
Yeah,
like that.
You still got to service them. Yeah,
because that's the thing with the tank ones. You don't usually. You just let them go until you're supposed to flush them, but nobody ever does.
Yeah,
And so that's the thing about people who are really good about what they do is they get word of mouth. Like you've turned me on to Dr. Galander's when I was having pain, and also the guy. Oh man, what's his name? He fixes garage doors.
What was
Tony?
His name?
Was it Tony?
Tony. Yeah. Because like the other garage door people saying I could be out in a week or maybe a few days.
So he's like, "I'll be there in 20 minutes."
Yeah, be there in 20 minutes. He comes out, fixes it, does a great job. So it's the best people are
we
known
need
by
to make
word of
a
mouth.
list. We need to make a list and put it on the website.
Our own Angie's list. Our own,
exactly.
Fresno.
The no focus list.
Yeah,
because I know I'm going to need these guys at some point. I'm like, who is that? What was his name? Tony?
Yeah. Who's the plumber?
How do I get a hold of him? Yeah.
So it's good. Max is busy doing something.
I'm listening. Sorry.
He's looking up.
He's setting up our no focus list.
Hey, have you cleaned? Speaking of that, have you had your tankless water heater?
I have no idea how that even works.
It's part of that magic
understand
thing, right?
how I don't even know where my tankless water heater is.
Really? You do have
idea.
one though? You're sure you have one? It's tankless.
Yeah, no idea.
Well, the tank in my house, which I had the same house as Max for a long time, was right here in the corner. Is where the tank one was. So it doesn't look like he has one.
I know I have a panel on the outside.
That's where it is.
Okay, you open that thing up.
You open the panel. And,
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised you haven't had problems with it if you haven't been serviced this whole time you lived here.
No, never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it work pretty good though? I mean, when it does work.
Yeah, so the thing with tankless is you don't run out of hot water.
Yeah.
So it's not like a tank where somebody takes like a shower and another shower and they go, "We're out of hot water." So you have pretty much endless hot water
stream.
But the one thing that is annoying is it takes a little bit longer to get hot water coming out of the faucet because
it has to heat up every
It has to heat it up.
Yeah.
So you're standing there for like, it's kind of a waste of water. They got to figure that out because I'll literally stand at my sink for like, a minute and a half waiting for hot water to come out, just running.
It's just like the electric vehicle. So it's basically you're wasting more water in a drought to get hot water than you would if you had a tank.
I've never understood why for a tankless water heater, why there's not like inside the wall where they keep all the piping.
At least a small tank.
Just in the wall, put 5 gallons.
Yeah.
That way, while you're using those 5 gallons, the other water's heating up. It doesn't make any sense to me.
There are places that I think that do that where they have small, not a tankless, but there is a small tank where it's just right at the faucet you use it. Yeah. So you get hot water right where you use it.
That's not a bad idea. I might need to look into that.
Yeah.
Oh, just one of those.
It's just like a small tank. It's right at the
like
unit.
Instant hot water heater. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just right there at the faucet, whatever, like a
you
bathroom
can't call
faucet.
it tankless anymore. Then if you have a little.
Well, it's not
tank.
a tankless.
Maybe a
It's just
mini
a small tank. Yeah, it's a hot water heater, but it's just a small tank.
But they like to call it tankless.
Who does?
The people who create them.
That's true.
Well, yeah, if they had a tank, if they do.
It's just like I have an electric car. It wouldn't be cool if it ran on gasoline. So if you have a tankless water heater, you
Actually,
can
it
have
would.
a tank with it.
It'd be called a Prius.
Have you guys seen the new Prius? Have you seen the new Prius?
No, I haven't.
Max, Google new Prius and put it up on our screen. I want to blow their minds. It's beautiful.
Really?
I heard Porsche came out with a car that runs on water because it takes carbon out of the air and combines it with water to create electricity.
That's the new Prius right there.
Really, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Well, it's not bad.
It is pretty looking. Definitely pretty.
Is it a
hybrid?
hybrid? Yeah.
They got to step it up.
They do.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. It gets 57 miles to the gallon. It has 200 horsepower, so it's not a slowpoke vehicle anymore.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it looks nice. We're looking through the pictures right now online here.
You can check those out in the show notes, as always.
But it's electric.
Are you going to get
It's
one?
hybrid, so you still use gas.
Are you gonna
so
get
it's
one?
A little bit better. I would consider it. I mean, I don't think I could afford one.
See, I don't understand why. We've talked about endlessly about electric vehicles, and I'm sure we will again here. But why don't they go to more hybrids? Why are they trying just to get everybody off of this? Yeah,
because there's more money.
Money.
Well, that's yes, we know. I understand.
But I mean, there was an article in Motor Trend where one of their writers is trying to defend, electric vehicles and he basically he makes the point because what they say is the carbon footprint of an electric vehicle is bigger, right? So and he doesn't deny that. He says if you just make an electric vehicle and a normal internal combustion vehicle, and that all you do is make them, yes, the battery vehicle will take more carbon. But he's like, the moment you start driving it, it only takes like a year and a half or something, and then the ICE vehicle, internal combustion, makes way more carbon than the battery vehicle. So he's like, if you're worried about carbon emissions, the batteries.
But he's not taking into consideration when you decommission the car.
Yeah, they're not taking when you do it all.
That was my point. Was he acknowledged? Well, okay, so people are worried about the mining, and that is a concern. But then he just brushes it over. I'm like, well, that's a huge deal. We've talked about the mining is worse for the environment than drilling for oil.
And then how do we get rid of those batteries?
And he didn't bring that up. How do you recycle all these batteries? They don't have a solution for that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, okay, I see his point about he did talk about the one issue of it takes more carbon to produce a battery vehicle. But then, pretty quickly it over the lifespan of the vehicles, it puts off way less carbon. Okay, but
the
other two issues are not addressed in the article.
Well, here's the thing though: if he's just taking the car when you charge it and run it, when you run the car, yes, but when you're charging the car, that electricity is still coming from somewhere else, and it's not coming from solar panels. So there's the carbon
from biofuel.
So there's no way that car is less carbon.
People never take into account that where's the electricity coming from? All the different things. Actually, I have an article. I had this saved. It was I never know how to pronounce this. Reuters. Reuters. Thank you. It's such a weird
like hemorrhoids.
Reuters. Don't they do drains? I think they fixed Don's
They did a large study by the Argonne National Laboratory model, and they said that based off of a mid-size Tesla Model 3 or a Toyota Corolla gasoline, those two vehicles, to make it equal, you would have to drive that Model 3 173,000 miles before it evens out as getting the Toyota Corolla. And I'm like, that's quite a bit.
Even with the carbon.
Just even.
Yeah.
But does that take into consideration when you have to dispose of the vehicles?
That's no. It's just the making of and driving.
Major problem is the batteries. What are you going to do with the battery? And the Toyota doesn't have that issue because they don't have that.
I was watching YouTube recently, like I usually do. I usually watch YouTube. But anyway, there's this guy who took a Tesla and he wanted to see if he could have it where he didn't have to charge it. So he put a generator, a gas generator, on the Tesla, so he could continually charge the battery where he didn't have to, charge it and plug it in somewhere. And he was doing this long trip back east. And the stupid thing, he had this thing, and so he would pull in a hotel. And so he'd have this gas engine running on the back. It was like, it was even louder than a regular gas engine because it was a generator. So he had this thing was super loud. He's driving down the road with this thing running. He would park in the hotel. He'd have to park so far away because the thing was so loud. He had that thing running all night just to try to keep the battery up a little bit, just to make it to his next destination. It was like, because it wasn't charging it very, very fast. It was very, very slow. But it was just a complete mess.
They did an article in Motor Trend this month where they have in their long-term testing the Rivian truck. Those are super cool. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Rivian.
Is that Rivian? Is that Nissan? Who is that?
Google it. It's their own company.
It's a separate
Rivians
company.
are pretty cool. There's actually
is that the one with the headlight that goes all the way to the front?
That's a new driveway.
One of those.
Cul-de-sac right across from me. A guy has a Rivian.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So this is a whole separate company.
That's their new SUV, but the truck right there, that's the truck.
That's pretty cool.
But here's the problem.
Oh yeah, that's the car. That's the truck I saw.
So they took it camping. It's got I think it's got 280 something miles of range when you spec it out the way they have it spec'd out.
And it's all electric?
It's all electric.
Did they tow a trailer?
And no, they just went tent camping. But here's the issue. So they made it. They went up to, I want to say it was Big Bear. And, obviously cruising on a flatland, it got pretty much the mileage they were expecting.
Yeah.
But then obviously climbing a hill takes, way more battery power.
Yeah.
But on the way down, you actually recoup most of it from regenerative braking.
That's true. Yeah.
But here's their issue they ran into. Overnight, just sitting overnight, the truck loses about 40 miles every night.
Wow.
Just sitting overnight.
Just to decharge. So
it went from
discharging. What do they call it? Discharging, decharging.
And I would imagine it would lose more if it got cold because batteries do well in the cold.
Yes. So they spent 3 nights there. It went from 53% battery charge. The last day they went, maybe it was 4 nights. They had 8% battery left.
No.
Yeah, and then so it became a huge deal of how are they going to get home? Like, where's the nearest charger? And of course, all the near chargers were not online or decommissioned.
Oh boy.
So so they ended up getting home. But I'm like, okay, what kind of car is going to lose you that just sitting overnight? And so they contacted Rivian well, we keep some of the power going to some of the computers for user experience, so you can get in and just but I'm like, I would rather them just turn the whole battery off, and preserve as much power as you could.
They need a camping mode that you can just shut this thing down.
Yeah, because my friend's Tesla keeps texting him things.
It's
the
never
interior's
off.
hot. Can we run the fan? Can we do this?
Yeah, it's never off.
Shut up.
So
car.
I have this is a really interesting article here. This is from climate.mit.edu. This is from the MIT Climate Portal.
Okay.
It says, are electric vehicles definitely better for the climate than gas-powered cars? And they make a couple, they say yes, but then they give you some really interesting stats here. They say that, so we think about gas cars are so bad for emissions.
Yeah.
So one of the things they talk about is that we say that we think that, okay, but once you start driving electric cars, the emission, it's bad as you make it. And they admit it's much worse to make the batteries and dispose of them. They say, however, once you start driving it, we start thinking that there's no emissions, right? They say, well, that's actually wrong as well. But they say it is better. So, but this is how much better it is. A fully electric vehicle, fully electric, still creates 200 grams of, let's see here, what's the exact time, of CO2 emissions per mile. 200 grams. How much does that's 200. How much does a fully gasoline car emit?
$250,000.
Right? Probably quite a bit.
Yeah, I would say more than that. Yeah.
300 grams.
Whoa.
That's
big
the
lie.
difference.
Why is it creating
The big
carbon
lie.
emissions? I don't understand.
It's still, so I can read, it's a pretty long article, but it says, although many fully electric vehicles carry zero emissions badges, this claim is not true. Battery electric cars still, they may not emit greenhouse gases from their tailpipes, but the emissions are created in the process of driving, charging, and building the vehicle. Although they're lower emissions than normal cars, let me see here. We shouldn't claim victory that the switch to electric cars is problem solved, because we're not going to have zero emissions. That is simply not the case.
So through their creation and through their charging
And driving through per mile, it still says.
I don't know how driving, but anyway, okay.
Found a Tesla Model T creates 2.5 and 16 metric tons of CO2. Like for instance, heating within the vehicle, just battery usage. All of this still creates. It still creates carbon.
So I want to see, Marty, you brought up a point, and then we skipped over it, that Porsche has figured out how to use water and capture carbon. And what was that? They can...
Yeah, because when you get the water, and when it combines with the carbon, it creates a little jolt of electricity, and so they're able to use that. And it was an article that just recently came out, because Porsche just came out with the car that runs on water. But and that doesn't have any emissions impacts. It removes carbon from the environment.
We also are short on water, though. Can you use seawater? Salt water? Probably not.
I doubt it. It corrode everything. But I guess you could urinate in your tank if you got stuck. But it was just a quick little article, and I thought, oh, wow, that's pretty genius. I researched it a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing is, like, I'm not against electric vehicles in terms of we're trying something new. It just doesn't seem like, why did we jump with both feet into this is the solution?
Electric vehicles make sense if, I'll tell you what, if you used nuclear power to create the electricity.
Yeah.
And it was abundant everywhere, so you could charge them constantly.
Like hydrogen's abundant everywhere.
Right, that would be it. So it would make sense there. Also, it would only make sense if we weren't sending children in to mine with
The
lithium
mining
mines.
is the main issue.
The problem here is we're killing people to do it. So yes, if we could magically make these batteries without children in mines, then sure, electric cars are cool. If we take the kids out and we use actual renewable energy such as nuclear, until we do that, it's just not actually.
Well,
the other thing that's smoke and mirrors is when they say our goal is to reduce carbon emissions down like 90%. But they don't say from today. They always say from 1990.
Yep.
And that's because from 1990 to today, emissions are already down like 70%.
No, like 99%. Our car
Really?
emissions.
No, that's from 1960.
60? Okay.
Yeah. But from 1990, it's still like 67
Are we
or
talking
70%.
just our country for that, or are we talking
No,
all
cars
across
in general.
the world?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, once again.
No, our country, because China doesn't care. China's
Yeah,
producing
that's what
more
I'm saying,
carbon
though.
than ever.
Yeah, but that's their coal. Their cars, though. I mean, the point is, gas cars, once again, this is MIT, 300 grams per mile compared to 200. It's really not that big of a difference.
See,
Yeah.
We're talking about fully electric versus gas.
I love how this has become our main topic of every podcast
Well,
that
because
we do.
it's insane to
it is
me.
insane.
Yeah.
But also, they can always compare it against the old cars, and the old cars used to use the old gasoline, which contained lead.
Right.
And so, they were terrible, horrible, polluting machines. But the newer cars, there's unleaded
run a lot
gasoline.
cleaner.
They run a lot cleaner.
There's capture where they capture the gas that's not burned. That was a lot of
catalytic-
issue,
well,
and
the
they
catalytic
burn
converters
it
and all that
before it
stuff,
gets
yeah.
to the exhaust. So you do have a cleaner exhaust coming out of there.
Can I bring up? I was
Yes,
saving
you may.
this for. I was saving
Do
this
it.
for.
Do it
uh,
now.
Do it.
I was saving this.
Well, here,
for,
but before you say that, I just wanted to say too, that's the whole problem is that, even though it may save our environment, our environment here, it's not in the
Doesn't save the
Congo
world.
where they're mining these things and the people are getting poisoned. And then when the batteries get shipped off and it leaches somewhere else in some other country, it leaches in their water system. And that's all going to come back. I mean, if we talk about the Earth as one unit, it's all going to come back to us at some point.
Spaceship Earth.
It's not going to stay there. So
this is a great article
Okay.
from Business Insider. California invested an enormous amount of money into getting EVs on the road, but practically nothing when it comes to dealing with the waste. Quote, it's totally like the Wild West. So it says California has been a leader in electric vehicle adoption, but the state has no system to figure out what to do with the hundreds of thousands of battery packs that are currently retiring. So, long story short, we put all this money into saying we need electric cars. However, the problem is we have no plan to get rid of those batteries. So, what they talk about is that it's literally it's a ticking time bomb because all of these batteries, we don't know what to do with them. So they say 5% of electric car batteries are actually recycled.
5%.
5% of them. The rest of them are going actually just into trash piles, which so when they say it's a ticking time bomb, they say that's legitimate because they're afraid these are all going to blow up.
Oh, explode? Okay.
Because they're all getting more and more unstable. So they're like, here's the problem.
They degrade and get more and more unstable.
So they're like,
they leak and they go into our water supply.
We have exactly 0 EV battery recycling plants that exist in California.
That's awesome.
We also have 0 tried and true recycling programs to deal with the batteries in California.
They can't really, they can recycle little parts of them, but not,
So end-of-life batteries are currently getting, quote, stockpiled for resale or just getting shipped out of the country where they get burned in countries like China.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we have invested, Gavin Newsom put $10 billion into $10 billion of our money to electric cars. And then we also put a bunch of money into these private companies that, quote, recycle the batteries for us.
Oh, you mean all friends of the administration?
Friends, yeah.
So we have all of this money going to these people that are going to recycle the batteries for us. And then it talks about, in 2020, the Energy Commission awarded $10.8 million to 4 different projects that explore the repurposing of these.
I want to explore it for $1 million.
Keep on giving them money. What they've done is they take some of these batteries, and they say they can't test them or recycle them. We're not doctors. We're just necessarily going to heal a sickness. But we can identify it so that necessary accommodations could be made. This company called Rejoule just got hundreds of millions of dollars. And what they're doing is they just take the dead batteries and then try to plug them into various solar panels, like on roofs.
Yeah, they just keep using them. That's their whole plan. Well, you can, after they do power your car, they can power small emergency lights.
Let me ask you this.
Look at what they say.
Let me ask you this, though. I was just going to say, is that why, there's a lot of like fires and stuff that are happening because of these rechargeable scooters and people's...
cars too, the Chevy Bolt.
But what I was getting at is does that mean that they're using these recycled batteries maybe in these other little like these scooters and these smaller...
Well, no, because they say right here that it's he says right here, the cost to ship and recycle or to take apart a battery and check it would take a week of somebody's time and it's too expensive. So they don't even recycle them for anything else. This company, who's got awarded a bunch of money, says, look, it's still too expensive for us to take these batteries apart because there's all these cells in there. To experiment, open the cells up, it's too expensive.
Each cell. Yeah.
It's too expensive. So what they do is they just plug them in here, and then he says, we don't necessarily need to have a third party that checks the state and health before it gets shipped even farther away. After they just stops working, they just, once again, ship it elsewhere to somebody else, and it gets into a trash pile or burned.
Or
and
just dump it in the ocean. That's great. The ocean is deep, and
there's too many disposable masks in there. There's too much plastics from that.
Once it sinks past the plastic,
maybe it'll burn the plastic.
We'll just start firing them into space.
It explodes. That'd be great.
Turn Mars into a large junk pile.
Well, shoot it into the sun.
Well, see, that's the problem is that I don't think anybody, just like you said, Don, I don't think anybody here is against electric vehicles.
No,
he says
the jumping. Oh, go ahead.
To use the current UL standards, it'll take 1 full work week to qualify up 1 used battery. It's not feasible.
And that's not recycling.
What do they mean?
That's just checking them.
That's checking it to see if you can recycle.
And what does that mean by 1 used battery? Because these Teslas have how many of these batteries in them? I mean, the car is full of batteries.
Yes, but they one battery. You're talking
cells.
about cells.
Cells, yeah.
So they consider one Tesla battery. They call it one.
Are they talking about one battery?
Yeah,
one
but it's
full
all
car
those
battery.
individual cells in there. Yeah.
And then if I could bring up one,
you bet,
more.
This is the last
story
Please,
here.
We got to move on.
We got to move on. This is pretty big. So electric cars, pretty
That's
big
what she
deal.
said.
Let me just pull up I want to pull this up really quick here.
Oh my God, put it
Does
away.
let me ask you guys this: anybody have any in 2023? Anybody going to buy any electric vehicles on this
I refuse
panel?
to buy an electric vehicle.
I'm considering, and I'll tell you why. It's the
Rivian?
cheapest. No, the Chevy Bolts, which will burn your house down. They're selling them. They're selling them for $25,000 now.
Oh my God!
And you get until March, you can still get the $7,500 government refund, and then the state of California has its own refund. So that's basically cheaper than any used car I'm looking
You just
at.
have to
'cause
park
I need
it like
to buy
3
a
blocks
third
away.
car
Park
soon.
it on the street 3 blocks away. Yeah, that's
That is good, but that's the thing. See, it's subsidized, right? It's just so subsidized, like everything else, like solar.
I refuse to buy one.
Do you get a charger with that, or do you have to buy one?
Yeah, no, actually, that is part of the deal. Chevy will put in a level 2 charger in your garage. Yeah, or maybe it's like $1,000. I can't remember, but
Now, level 2, how long would that? How long do you know?
it's like
what
the
charge?
240 volts. So like a Bolt would charge in probably like 8 hours or something like that.
A full charge?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Okay.
But then again, your home energy costs are going to go way up.
Sure.
And you got to have that long
Do you have
extension
solar on there?
cord, so it's not in your garage when you're charging it.
Yeah. Do you have solar in your house?
I do, but the solar doesn't even generate 100% of our home's electricity.
How much does the solar pay for?
I mean, quite a bit,
your
but our
bill.
true-up bill is still a good, I don't know, like $2,500 at the end of the year.
Well, that's a trip you have to pay. But let's just say like your solar is maybe what 60% of your energy. You think
it's
at this
supposed
point?
to be like
70?
90%, but
Okay.
of course they get dirty. There's cloudy days, so they never produce what they say they
it's
are.
never
Yeah.
completely, but yeah.
Those are
Okay.
shit.
Okay. Sorry to get you off track there. You got it.
All right.
Johnny.
So Switzerland, a place that the U.S. Americans have voted the best country in the world, is what we've decided.
Congratulations,
it is.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
So in Switzerland,
They make cheese.
the best country in the world, they are, quote, banning electric cars
No.
because of an energy crisis.
What?
Good.
Electric
Smart.
cars have become very popular over the past few years in Switzerland. This is according to the Telegraph. Because of the energy use that they take, the country is shortening operating hours of stores. They're enforcing lower thermostats, and use of electric cars can only be used for absolutely necessary journeys to essentially to hospitals or to get food. So despite increasing focus on ESG investing, traditional energy is not dead. Essentially, they have to boost all of their traditional energy because they went so hard into green energy.
Yeah.
They have no power right now. And to the fact, it's so bad that you can't even use your electric car. New York Times has an additional story saying, advice for Europeans, bundle up and get ready for outages.
Welcome to our future.
Isn't
This
that what
is our
Germany was
future.
doing too?
So,
They're
do
essentially.
you guys know what's happening in Germany right now? It's bad. They have
They're
no power.
burning
in Germany.
they're tearing down homes and burning
Yeah.
wood and
They
stuff.
have no
Yeah.
energy in Germany.
Yeah, to
now,
stay warm, yeah.
In 2018, or if you saw that clip, Donald Trump was warning them this was going to happen.
Yeah,
They
they
laughed
laughed
at him.
They
Yeah.
laughed
They
at
laughed at
him.
it in his face.
Now, and I'm like, what's scary is like, I don't know. I've been to Germany a couple times. I've been to Germany 3 times in my life, maybe 4 times, 3 times. Germany is not like some third world country.
No.
Germany is. I mean, when you're in Berlin, I mean, you're like, it feels like you're in like New York, but old. I mean, it's like these are big, bustling country, a lot of stuff. You would never in a million years think, oh, in Germany they're going to have no power. So just like if you're listening out there, just know that this can happen at any point when we're relying on foreign oil. And we don't.
Well, yeah, because they had the pipeline from Russia, and then who knows what happened there.
When we rely on foreign oil and
blown up.
only green energy, and we shut down our coal plants and shut down all our nuclear plants, you are weeks away from this happening
Could happen at any moment.
at any moment, especially since we have no more reserves. Like this could happen in any moment.
Well, we did that to Japan in World War II. We shut off their oil supply, and they got desperate and bombed Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Like this, it can happen at any moment. So, like, I don't know. Just thank God. Sometimes like Justin brought up the other day, or I mean Don. Like, thank goodness that I live in a place that's actually not freezing. You know.
Well, that is the one thing about moving out of California and moving somewhere else, because then you are subject to a lot of places get very cold, or very hot, even hotter than.
It would be pretty
here.
miserable here if we didn't have power to do AC, but
you
we
could live
wouldn't
through
die. We wouldn't
Yeah,
die.
how did our ancestors do it? I mean, it's like
you can live through
In
it.
wool
Yeah.
suits, yes.
Yes, you can live through it. Exactly. You can't.
We would change the way we would build homes in ground, or partially
I've
in
always
ground.
said that.
yeah.
Yes, I've always said that. Building a home in ground would be genius here. I don't know why why we build them the way we do.
Yeah, well, if you go to that Forester underground gardens,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you
It
can
stays cool.
especially in the summertime. Yeah,
my
you can tell
friend
the difference.
grew up in an older home by Fresno High, and like the bottom level of it was underground, and his house had like a swamp cooler. It was really old, and so it'd be hot in the summer. But you go down to that room down in the bottom, and it would be nice and cool because it was insulated.
Well, we've talked about it before too. Yeah, the older homes were built like they knew the way that the wind would blow and everything. So they had doors and windows, and they would open them all, and it would come through the house, and somehow it'd keep a lot of things cooler.
And they would position it where it'd get the right amount of sun because they knew the sun
during the
moved
winter
during
time.
the year.
Yeah, and then
Like a lot of people, you tell them, well, the sun moves. What? The sun moves?
Right.
Yes, it goes up and down during the year.
Yeah.
Watch it.
All right, guys, we got about 1 minute left. So quickly, we're gonna wrap this up with your favorite present.
Put a
that
bow
you got
on it
this
since-
year.
Favorite present.
Oh, favorite present. Okay.
present. Starting with the doorman.
Hey, I got an electric vehicle. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Favorite present. Actually, I got our dog passed away this year.
sorry to
one of
hear
our dogs.
that.
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about it. I think, but anyway, I got a keychain with a little engraving of the dog with a actual picture,
that's cool.
like engraved on metal. It's really cool.
nice.
That
I
was
thought
my
you were gonna
favorite.
say you got a new dog.
No.
Santa didn't bring you a new dog.
No, we have another one, so
okay.
we're giving a lot of love to that
Yeah,
one.
we've talked about in the Schlick House as our animals go, they're not being replaced. So
Yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. Okay, Stu, what did you get?
My toilets work.
Hey, it's nice. It's
Yay.
nice. It's nice.
Actually-
You didn't get like a haunted doll or anything?
No, I didn't. But my wife surprised me. My wife and my brother surprised me. They got me a DJI FPV drone.
No
Hey!
way!
So it's
Awesome.
a drone where you wear the headset.
Yes.
And it's like a VR headset. And you're like inside the drone because you're looking right out the camera.
Oh my
And
gosh.
you could fly it through the you look at the headset as you fly it.
How
That's
cool is
awesome.
that?
Yeah, we
is
went out
cool.
yesterday and flew it out by Lost Lake. And it
Oh
was
my gosh.
amazing.
Do you go spy on people in their 2-story windows and like hover
Yeah.
outside their window and stuff?
That's going to be my project. That's why I'm learning how to hover.
Yeah, man.
How long does that thing stay in the air?
About
On a charge.
20, 25 minutes, depending
Okay.
on how you fly it.
Let's say what
Because
next time
it'll
I'm
go up to 60 miles.
Are you
an
going to
hour
rig it to like
faster.
drop explosives and stuff?
I was thinking about it. We were talking.
next time I'm
So will
nude
it record
sunbathing, I'll send
video?
you a message so you can come spy on me.
Come over.
it records video too.
Yeah, it records video. It
That's
records
awesome.
video in the drone and also in the headset. So if you lose it, you can go back in the headset. and
Nice.
see
So
that
if your
video.
drone
Oh,
crashes
wow.
somewhere and you can't get to it,
Yeah,
like
because my brother crashed his, couldn't find it. So he went home, reviewed the video in the headset, and worked out where it was, and
how
went out
cool.
and found it.
that's
love it.
awesome. I want one of those.
That's
man.
really cool.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
it was on sale too, which was, there was $100 off, which was great. So
Killer.
Yeah, the Schlicks
All right.
didn't do many presents for the adults only because we usually do for each other like house stuff. Like we bought a fire pit for our backyard and things like
yeah.
that. So I did get new shoes. Have this ever happened to you? You try on new shoes in the store and they feel super comfortable.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
get them home,
Yeah.
you're like, wait, these are narrow or these are that
Yeah,
happened to me
it
with
doesn't
two
feel right.
shoes this year. 2 shoes. I got a nice pair of Reeboks and a nice pair of Adidas, and I have to return both of them. So
Oh,
kind of
no.
you
Yeah.
need to get PF flyers. That's
Yeah.
That's the trick, man. That's right.
There
That's
you
right.
go. All right, what do you got, Johnny?
Okay, my favorite present. I got a couple good ones. Right now, my current favorite one, which is I've never used. I've always had a lot of things that wireless charge, but I actually got a wireless charging pad.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty sweet. So at night, I can just throw my phone, my watch, and my headphones down on my table, and I wake up. You don't have to
It's all charged.
I don't have 3 different cables everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's actually really cool. For a while, I was like,
Awesome.
this is kind of dumb, but then I was like, I'm going to try it, and it's pretty great.
Wow.
So I'm liking that. It's probably there's a lot of good stuff. I cook a lot, so my wife got me some great new cookware that I've been excited about. So yeah, that's my big ones.
Awesome. Well, sounds like everybody had a good Christmas, huh?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
good stuff. All right, guys. You guys know what that means, that
Uh-oh.
music. You know what that means. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to tell a friend, but also, more importantly, check out our show notes. Go to nofocusradio.com. You can read the show notes. You can vote on the polls. Subscribe. Please do leave a review. What we're going to be doing is every time we get a review, we're going to be reading it live on the air. So get a review, and we'll choose the best ones, read them on the air. Join our club, different membership levels there with different prizes, and we really appreciate that. It helps us keep on keeping on. So if this is worth any of your time, even $1, every dollar helps. So you can check that out at nofocusradio.com. We really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Remember,
Talk to you soon.
5 stars is always the correct number of stars, folks. See ya.